Sean Sewell with Engearment.com. I got a really quick, fun comparison video between the Sony A7IV right here and the brand new Sony A7RV. Both cameras will be using the same frame rate, so we have here 24 frames per second, 4K, 50 megabyte, 422 10-bit. That's what I'll be shooting this video as well as the A7RV. What I'm curious about as a video content creator is the active steady shot. This is the Tamron 17-28. I'm using a, was it Rode? No, DJI microphone. And this one I'll be using a Sony 20mm 1.8. Not kind of fair, but I'm gonna do my best to do my comparison here. Give you some natural lighting now. See if that helps. And as you can imagine, everything is in auto settings. Trying to keep this as simple as possible. Come on, correct. There we go. So again, this is the A7IV, 24 frames per second, 4K, 50 megabyte, 422 10-bit. Up next, the same settings on the A7RV. Stay tuned. Oh, and I'll be doing 60 frames and 30 frames as well. Sony A7RV, 24 frames per second, 4K, 50 megabyte, 422 10-bit. We're using the onboard microphones. I think microphones because I see two bars on the Sony A7RV. So, walking and talking, I'm not doing anything special to try and make it more steady. Just completely handheld. You can already tell the bokeh looks nicer, the blurry background. Get some natural lighting. Backlit portrait mode kicked in. See if it catches up to the lighting conditions any faster. Maybe a little bit. Pretty sweet. So again, this is the Sony 1.8 Prime on the A7R5 with the onboard microphones. Up next, I'll do 60 frames per second on the A7IV. Oh yeah, we'll have this review up on Kamika Vimo C here soon. Yeah, stay tuned for 60 frames per second. Sony A7IV, shooting at 60 frames per second. Obviously you can see it crop now. These are the settings we are using. We get 60 frames per second, 100 megabyte file, 422 10-bit in 4K. So let's see how active steady shot does. That's already kind of jarring, isn't it? Walking and talking with the Tamron 17-28 with the DJI microphone. Got a lot of microphones to test out right now. In the gym, yeah, good stuff. Going outside. Backlit portrait mode kicked in. It's tracking my eye very well. Going back inside. Walking, this again, not doing anything special to adjust for that. I'm not on a tripod, not on a gimbal. Whole reason I want to do this is personally I want to see how much better the A7R5 stability is. So let's find out. All right, this is a Sony A7RV with the 20mm Prime. It's already a bigger, wider field of view, no crop. So there is the A7IV. Again, we're using the onboard microphones. Let's see how they sound. Just holding it by the body. I'm gonna try and jog a little bit. See if that jarred the video at all. It's 60 frames per second. Outside, backlit portrait mode. Back inside. Is it gonna pick it up? Is it gonna pick it up? Picks it up, nice. So yeah, this is our gym, Existence Athletics, where we train here in Denver, Colorado. All right, up next, we're gonna do 30 frames per second in 4K. Stay tuned. Here are the settings. 30 frames per second, 140 megabyte, 422 10-bit. We're shooting that on both cameras. This is the A7IV. Come on, focus. So that's another thing too. I want to see how quickly it focuses, how good the stability is. Again, this is 30 frames per second. The Tamron 17-28. I don't care about the bigger things about picture quality. I just want to know, can I push record, keep it in auto, and how stable and how good will it look? So please put your comments below on what you think so far between the two cameras. Is it worth the extra $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 more for the A7RV? Or is the 4 good enough? Let's find out. To keep things fair, I swapped the lenses out. So now the A7IV with the Sony 20mm 1.8 prime is for proof. There is the Tamron 17-28 and the A7RV right there. So let's make sure it focuses. Come on. All right. 30 frames per second. Walking and talking. 422 10-bit. Active steady shot. Whatever microphone, DJI. Gonna test that Comica this week. Looks like it's maybe potentially more stable. Probably, maybe, there's some kind of on-body stabilization for this lens. Pick up the light, there we go. And if so, this might be a good option. What do you think? So I was just going through, compiling all the videos you've seen and will see, and realized that I did not shoot the A7RV with the Tamron 17-28 yet. So that's what this is right here. So I think I just showed you the A7IV with the 20mm, so you have fair context. And now here is 4K 30 frames per second on the A7RV. So now we have complete comparison, both cameras, both lenses, and I know the lighting is a bit different because now it's the afternoon compared to the morning, but all I really care about is replicating the test for stability. There's a storm coming in. Let's see, clouds, it's going to snow tonight. Will it change for the lighting? It did, cool. All right, again, this is the Tamron 17-28. Not on a tripod, just holding the camera by the body, walking around. So, is the 8-axis stabilization on the A7RV that much better than the 5 or 5.5 on the A7IV? To be continued. Okay, last test. A7RV. 30 frames per second. There's the 4, just so you know. Walking and talking, 30 frames per second. I do like the way this lens looks. The focal length is nice. What do you think, though? Getting an arm workout in. Holding this camera up. It's like the 12th take, believe it or not. When you're comparing 6 things, it's easy to mess up words with no script. But again, this is unedited, real world. Just want to see if this is going to be a good vlogging option compared to our tried and true A7IV. That guy. Alright, conclusion. Put your comments below. Tell us which one you think is better, for what reasons. Cost, price, performance, stability, which is the whole comparison right here. And that'll help out the whole freaking world. Sean Sewell with Engearment.com. Until next time, take care.